Tuesday. Dylan, just ignore this. Find the new seat. We are going to be having a new seating chart whenever I get back. So, your bell work today was how do you think we got goods that were not native to America? Because we had a lot of things that weren't first introduced to the New World. So, how did we get it? That is your bell work. If you have not already done that yet, I want you to go and do that and then come back. You will need colored pencils today for your homework. So, to get started, the Columbian Exchange. So, what caused the Columbian Exchange? Hopefully, last year you learned about the Crusades, and the Crusades brought ideas from Europe and Middle East together. And it provided Europeans critical ideas and information, kind of like what we watched when we were doing our 5 themes of geography and we watched the Silk Road. This is kind of along that same time frame where they brought new ideas, they brought new information. The Renaissance brought more ideas, and exploration was really encouraged during this time because we had just gotten out of the plague. And once we get out of kind of a major event like that, people are celebrating still alive. So everyone's like, let's go explore, see what the world is all about. And European rulers were competing against each other to find new trade routes to Asia during the Crusades, and they were go and we got all of these new spices in the Middle East. The best way to go there was over land, but it took a very long time. So they decided, what happens if instead of going east, we go west? And that's why Columbus started set sail, was to find an easier way to get to the Spice Islands. Unfortunately for him, we have a big old body of land that's in the middle, and that's what he ran into. But the explorers were still not giving up. We had people like Magellan who went down south to try to get to the Spice Islands. We had explorers who went north to try to find a way to the Spice Islands. Even up until westward expansion and Louisiana Purchase and Lewis and Clark, they're still trying to find an easy way to get to the Spice Islands. So they're trying to find a way. So, what is the Columbian Exchange? Well, like I just said, Christopher Columbus set sail for Spain trying to find a way to Asia and these Spice Islands. Instead, he found North America. And instead of saying, oh, oops, didn't find where I was going to, let me just go back empty handed, he decided to set up trading with this new land because we had a lot of goods there that's like, well, I can still make money here. And this trade is called the Columbian Exchange because of Christopher Columbus. This new trading system was between the Old World, which is Europe, Africa, and Asia, and the New World, which is North and South America. So, plants from the New World, so here in North and South America, going to the Old World was food. So, things like potatoes, corn, tomatoes, beans. These are things that are native to the New World that the explorers brought back to the Old World. So, what did we get from the Old World? Well, from this area, we got animals. So, things like chickens, pigs, cows, horses. They came from Europe. They also brought diseases. So, Native Americans, they had not run across a lot of the things that Europeans had. So, say the Europeans brought over a cold. Native Americans had never encountered a cold before. They didn't have medicines like we have now. So if we get a cold, not a big deal. They get a cold, they would die. And thousands and thousands of Native Americans were killed because of these diseases that were brought over from explorers. Sometimes they even brought them over on purpose to infect Native Americans because they wanted their lands and they wanted to get rid of them. And an easy way to take their lands is if no one's still alive to tell you no. Another thing that came out of this is the triangle trade. And the triangle trade was between Europe, Africa, and America. And this is the beginning of slavery in America. So, America would send goods to raw goods to Europe. Europe would manufacture that into usable goods. They would sell them to people in Africa in trade for people, and they would take those people and send them to America to work the farms, creating and growing these raw goods. So, what was the effect of this? Well, it's all about the money, right? So, European nations, they grew bigger and they grew more wealthy, especially Europe, Spain. Enslaved people from Africa were brought to North America and were forced to work on farms, tend the animals, work in the mines, trying to make the money that we learned about yesterday in the gold. That's it. So, your assignment today is, if you don't already have the paper from the paper passer, after you're done listening to my instructions, you need to go up to my desk and get it. You are going to create a menu. You need to have one starter, one main dish, and one dessert. I don't care what it is, you just got to pick something. You're going to list out the ingredients, and then you are going to list where the ingredients came from. So, for example, cherry pie. You cannot do cherry pie. You have to choose something else. So, you're going to go to Google and you're going to look up, where did cherries originate from? It is going to tell you Turkey. Turkey is Turkey is around oh dear. I think around this area, if I'm correct, which is in the old world. So whenever you go to write out old world, you're going to write cherries. Then you're going to Google search, where did lemons originate from? And you're going to see where that came from. It is from the old world. Then you're going to search all of the ingredients, where they originated from, determine if they are from the old world or the new world, and then you're going to list it out just like this. Old world, cherries, lemon juice, almond extract, butter, eggs, flour, shortening. New world, corn, starch came from the new world, sugar, vanilla extract. So you're going to make it look like this on your paper. So you need to have one starter, so an appetizer. I don't care what it is. It does have to have more than one ingredient. You can't just say, I don't know, mushrooms. You can't just use mushrooms. You could do meatballs, bean dip, fried cheese. I don't care what it is. A main dish. So, what is your main food? And then a dessert. And then when you're done with that, you're going to turn it in. If you do not finish, it is going to be homework. So, you're going to need to write that in your orange folder. So, your exit ticket today, whenever you are done and the substitute says is 4 minutes left, you're going to write this in your green paper. The Columbian Exchange brought many good and bad things. Which do you think was the most important and why? I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will have another video for you tomorrow. Bye.